Hello and welcome, disruptors. Welcome to another episode of Mindset Mastery Moments with Dr. Alisa Whyte, your number one mindset disruptor. Because guess what? Your mindset is the key to your success in your life, in your career, in your business, and in everything you do and everything that you're going to level up in and achieve. Hey, this is all about an audio-only moment to help you enhance your daily routines by providing new perspectives, encouraging your personal and professional growth, and pushing you beyond your comfort zone for optimum success. So let's dive right in today's episode. Hello, disruptors. I'm super excited for this particular episode. Welcome again to Mindset Mastery Moments with yours truly, Dr. Alisa Whyte, your number one mindset disruptor. And yes, it is another exciting episode. We have been on a trailblazing start of recreating success by routines and rituals that set us up daily for success. But guess what? I just don't want you to have a great morning routine that begins the night before. I want to ensure that you understand exactly how you get to where you're even creating habits overall in your life that will help you master the success. You see, many times I ask my clients and participants, who do you have to become to be the person that achieves the goals that you say you want? Again, that question is, who do you have to become in order to become the person that achieve the goals that you say you want? And so today it is my pleasure to bring to you for the first time ever. No, this has not been shared or talked about on any radio show or any podcast or any television interview, etc., not even in my enclosed masterclass and masterminds or even with my closest friends. This is going to be the first time that anyone hears a framework that I have designed to teach us how to break bad habits and cultivate new ones. Yes, my friend, today you're going to hear all about EmpowerHabit Transformation. This is my signature framework that you will hear over and over again to help us break the bad habits that we have and cultivate the empowering ones that we need in order to achieve maximum success. So, let's delve into the transformative framework that holds the key to breaking bad habits and paving a path to success. Yes, let's delve right in. So, as I've stated before, I ask you, and I want you to take a moment and think about your role model, your mentor, or the person who more than anything reminds you of what you aspire to be. And with that being said, as you hold that image of that individual, you might be naming someone famous. It might be your mom, your dad. I don't know. But they just remind you of your goals and who and what you want to become. Or you just might want to be just as successful. Let's say Michael Phelps or Oprah Winfrey or Nelson Mandela. It doesn't matter who that person is. Hold the image for a quick second. But then also add to that image, when you see yourself at your most successful point where you are so fulfilled and satisfied and at peace with where you are mentally, emotionally, financially, spiritually, and all the leads, as I would say, who are you and what do you truly look like? And so that's the image I want you to hold. And so I ask, who do you have to become to be the person that achieve the goals that you say you want, right? And so when we talk about who do you have to become, think about it really. It's going to be the things that you do consistently, the things that you do every day. And those, my friends, dear listeners, they're called habits. Listen, it's not the one-off things you do. It's the things that you do on autopilot and on repeat that are either helping you move closer to your goals or move further away from your goals, which ultimately just limits your success. So as we delve into my EmpowerHabit Transformation Framework, I want you to think about becoming the person that you aspire to be. And that person is the person that achieves all the goals and creates the lifestyle, the relationships that you so passionately desire. So, about my framework. In my framework, there are 7 distinct steps to changing and eliminating the habits that are counterfeiting you, and then stepping into the habits that are the ones you truly want and desire to develop for yourself. So let's dive within without further ado. Step number 1 is where we're going to do some reflection and recognition. This one, I named it the self-realization spark. Yes, each one of my 7 habits, they have a special character. And for the child in me, I'm thinking about these characters as superheroes or superhero capes that I put on to step into the action mode of creating and being the one who follows these 7 steps on every habit I want to turn completely around. And so in the reflection and recognition, which I call the self-realization spark, in this step of the framework is where we ignite the process of self-reflection. It's here where we recognize and acknowledge the habits that no longer serve us. Self-realization, my friend, is the spark that ignites the transformation. So first of all, by acknowledging the need for change, we take the first steps towards a brighter future. You know what we say. The first step to any change is where we first acknowledge that there needs to be change. So walk with me as I help you see me as the person who really had the habit of not exercising daily. Yes, I wanted to lose weight, but I was not exercising daily. So the first thing I did in step 1 in the self-realization spark, putting on my cape, was saying, you know what? It's not that I just want to lose weight, but I am not sitting and paying attention to how I'm going to go ahead and lose weight. So I had to sit there and make the steps to my journey. And I made them really simple. It was, first of all, let's get you to where you drink more water. That's it. Second of all, let's get you to where you get up and move every day. So instead of getting up and going to the gym and jumping on the treadmill and all this wonderful stuff, I just got up and I started to walk. Step number 2 is where we define our vision. And I call this one the DreamCrafting Clarity. It's DreamCrafting Clarity. In this second step, we paint a vivid picture of the person we want to become. Like I said, now in my weight loss journey, I did go get some old photos of myself when I was much in the size that I loved and I was most comfortable. But I also got a picture of one of my celebrities, and I'm not going to share that. All right. It was Ashanti. She's just about my height. She's not very much taller. We're almost the same complexion. So I always identify with her. And yes, at one time I thought we had the same size and body. So I got her in a swimsuit, in a bikini, and I got me back in the days where I never wore one, fully clothed, but loved the outfit, loved how it fit. And I put those pictures out. And that was my visualization where I had a dream crafting moment for myself. You see, in this step is where we define our new positive habits that impact they will have on our lives, where we create a compelling vision of our future selves. In doing so, we set the stage for remarkable change. So not only did I put those pictures out visually, so I have an end goal in mind, but now I'm also putting clarity in the steps. So I have more details of the drinking water, more details of getting up and walking every day, more details of now as I go forward, then I'm going to add moving faster in my walk. Then I'm going to come back home and now I'm going to do some HIIT exercises and I'm going to plank for 10 minutes. Whatever that looked like, I placed it down on details. And of course, this was over 4 years ago. Now, the third step is mindset reframing. And this one I call the mental marvel evolution. And this step is all about challenging and reframing all of the limiting beliefs that are associated with the bad habits that I have developed. Like, for example, in this case, I have a condition and the doctor says it is very difficult for me to lose weight. Or I don't really have a lot of time. I have to get on the road at 6 in the morning. How am I ever going to get to exercise and go out for a walk? Or, you know what? Eating a healthy diet is just way too expensive. It is so much easier to eat cheap food that are bad for my health. These were limiting beliefs that I had associated with the bad habits of not really putting my best foot forward. So when we cultivate a growth mindset that supports the new habits, where we're restraining and removing those limiting beliefs inside, we develop positive and most resilient mindset that empowers us to face the challenges that really exist, the true ones, because there are true obstacles in the way. But what they are not most of the times are those limiting beliefs. And those limiting beliefs are called limiting beliefs because those are the beliefs that limit us from moving forward in what we say we want. So third step is mental marvel evolution. And then in the fourth steps where we're going to do action planning and we're going to take full accountability, I call the habit hustle blueprint. Yep, you heard it, number 4. Habit hustle blueprints. In this, we break down our new habits into smaller, manageable steps, and we set specific, measurable goals for habit change. And then we establish a system of accountability and tracking. And this is where we put our intentions into actions. So once I knew I was going to drink 8 glasses of water per day, once I know it's going to work for 30 minutes and plank for 10. And yes, I expanded and developed those plans, but I started out basic and I had it. I had a tracking formula. Yes, that's when I used my cell phone and I got the app on my watch to time myself. And I also used a tracking formula that alarmed every time I drank water and I give myself a check. You know, initially I even had it down on paper where I was checking it off as I go. And when I say paper, you know, I was not walking around with a sheet. I made a little checklist on my phone that I could slip open and check it. No one knew what I was doing, but I was holding myself visually accountable for what I say I wanted. And that is step 4, action planning and accountability, which we call the habit hustle blueprint. Don't you just love that? The habit hustle, because listen, forming new habits is game-changing activity that we can truly have fun with. Step number 5 is what I call the habit disruption technique. And this is named the habit hack revolution. And like we say, we're putting on these different characters and they're super characters. Just figure we're in another Marvel movie. And this habit hack revolution step is where we identify the triggers and cues for our bad habits, the original bad habits that we want to replace. What are the triggers and what are the cues? Like, what makes me want to eat more potato chips on my weight loss journey? Well, what are my triggering moments? Is it because I'm watching a commercial in a movie where I'm triggered with potato chips? Or is it because I am hungry and all around the office, they're just various snacks and my go-to is potato chips? So if I realize that it's easier for me to eat these as a go-to when I'm hungry, then I will prepare myself with having a healthy option that would be more nutritional to my body and even more filling, but what they call less empty calories. So I learn what my triggers and cues are, and I don't just avoid them, but I stand and create a new process that helps me stand in position of where I want to be when those triggers and cues happen. You see, we will implement strategies at this point to disrupt those triggers. And we'll also substitute those old habits with healthier alternatives. It's really a revolution of transformation when you think of it. So the habit hack revolution is to know what your triggers and cues are and implement strategies to disrupt those triggers. and substitute the old habits with healthier ones. Even if it was something that didn't have to do with eating, you can still do that. And then let's roll up into number 6. Step number 6 is where we're practicing consistency and embracing ourselves and our new habits in resilience. And this one I call the steadfast empowerment stance. In the steadfast empowerment steps is where we cultivate discipline and consistency in practicing our new habits. So we will discipline ourselves to consistently, in my case, have a healthy alternative to snacks. And I'll also eat on a regular schedule, which will keep me filled and it will also reduce the craving. One of the other things I did was I substitute, once I felt like I was hungry, I told myself that, am I possibly thirsty? And I will drink water, because we've already worked on the not drinking soda habit or drinking a tea habit or drinking a coffee habit. And I've replaced those liquids and fluids with water. So now when I feel hungry and I feel like I want those chips, is it possible that I'm thirsty? Let me drink some water and kind of fill that hole. There was a time I even chewed on ice, because ice was a little bit closer to the crunchiness of a chip or a cookie or popcorn. So that really helped. But the goal is to have, in step 6, to be consistent with that, with gearing myself up with having something there that will replace me going to those chips. So, and then the next part of this steadfast empowerment stance is we learn to stay resilient in the face of setbacks, because guess what? Did you think that I 100% did what I needed to do to replace that habit in the beginning, or even halfway through me becoming better? Not necessarily. There are days when we're so great at eating well and exercising, but we have setbacks. Sometimes setbacks that are our own fault or just life things happening. So we use our past adversaries as sources of strength, like the times when we actually won, when we actually overcame, and say, I've done it before, I can do it again. It's about standing firm in our commitment to the change that we say we're making. So the steadfast empowerment stance is where we're actually going to be consistent in resilience. And let's bump right over to step number 6, where is everyone's favorite, and that is to celebrate and evolve. This one I call Empowerment Unleashed. In this final step, where we're unleashing our empowerment, we celebrate our victories no matter how small they are in our efforts to change and reframe those habits. This is where we reflect on our growth and look at how far we've come. And we look at our personal development as something that is a crowning achievement. Yeah, we don't need an award certificate and we don't need a bandmaster to celebrate. We have to start with ourselves. And I always say, there's nothing wrong with having a good friend or two or family member to jump in and celebrate with us. And we continue to evolve as we set new goals. It's really a testament of our journey of transformation when we are able to celebrate and evolve in the Empowerment Unleashed section of these 7 steps. Listen, my friend, I am going to tell you these 7 steps, they are going to help you transform. So you might need to replay this over and over again, and also just stay tuned for more information on how you can have this blueprint in your hand. This framework is something that I want to give to everyone. So watch out for next episodes where you can learn about where you can get this in your hand. Remember, the first step is to reflect and recognize, where do you want to go? The self-realization spark. The second step is where you define your vision, and I call that the DreamCrafting with Clarity. The third step is the mindset reframing piece, the mental marvel evolution. And then the fourth step is getting into action planning and accountability, where I call that the habit hustle blueprint. And step 5 is where we get into the disruption habit technique, or we call it the habit hack revolution. And step 6 is consistency and resilience. Yes, the steadfast empowerment stance, where we're standing our ground and we are not backing down. And step 7 is where we celebrate and evolve. The empowerment unleash phase, where we celebrate our victories no matter how small. My friends, I want to thank you for joining me on the journey through my empowerment habit transformation framework. I encourage you to apply these principles to your own life. And remember, change is 100% possible and your potential is limitless. So stay tuned for more mindset mastery moments with yours truly, where we'll continue to explore the power of mindset, personal and professional growth. I am Dr. Alisa Whyte, signing off until our next moment of empowerment. I want to remind you that everything begins with a thought. How we think is what we begin to speak. What we speak is what we begin to do. And then ultimately, that's what we become. So continue the momentum and don't you drop the ball now. Keep those morning rituals going. Prepare for your morning by starting a night before preparation. And ultimately, just change your habits to be in alignment with who you say you want to become. The question today is, who do I have to become to be the person that achieved the goals that I say I want? You're going to change those with new habits by tossing out the old ones and replacing them with new habits. I want to wish you love, light, peace, and blessings, and I will see you on the next episode of Mindset Mastery Moments. Bye now.